A forget what you know dinosaur science is fiercely debated. But these giants still hold secrets that challenge our understanding. We must examine the controversies surrounding speed, warmth, and awareness. The first major dispute: how fast could these colossal animals truly move? Our early models suggested lumbering gaits, barely faster than a fast walk. But biomechanical analysis introduced a radical, higher speed estimation. The debate centers on muscle mass distribution and skeletal stress tolerance. One camp cites track records, the other cites physics limits. But now that we understand the speed controversy, let's explore metabolism. Were dinosaurs ectotherms, like modern reptiles, dependent on the sun? Or were they endotherms, generating internal, consistent body heat? On evidence for insulation points strongly toward internal temperature regulation. This suggests a mesothermic middle ground, balancing both systems. But maintaining high activity levels requires immense, constant energy input. Tooth replacement rates also hint at a high energy, fast-growing physiology. The metabolic debate affects everything, even predator-prey dynamics. Next, we confront the enduring puzzle of dinosaur intelligence. But brain size relative to body mass is often the primary metric used. As smaller ratios suggest complex social structures were less likely for many species. And yet, descendants surviving today show remarkable cognitive abilities. Intelligence isn't just raw brain size, it involves specialization. Evidence of coordinated hunting or complex nesting suggests social learning. The evolution of feathers likely drove cognitive demands for display and communication. We are moving from simple reaction to potential problem-solving capabilities. But the sophistication of feeding strategies implies advanced coordination. Now that we understand the intelligence spectrum, let's re-examine posture. The posture fundamentally dictates locomotion and visual perspective. The classic sprawling stance is largely discarded for most large groups. The role of the massive tail as a dynamic counterbalance remains debated. Was it held stiffly horizontal, or did it swing dynamically? Trackways provide crucial, non-skeletal data on actual movement patterns. These prints suggest the center of gravity shifted constantly during locomotion. Environmental pressures constantly refined these physiological compromises. But consider the integument scales, feathers, or something entirely different. The prevalence of filaments in many clades suggests pervasive insulation needs. It represents a deep continuum, not a static endpoint. Interpreting this data requires rigorous, multidisciplinary collaboration. And now that we've covered locomotion, let's address cranial controversies. At the temporal fenestrae, holes in the skull hold clues to jaw musculature. Of greater openings allowed for larger, more powerful closing muscles. This impacts our view of feeding ecology and resource partitioning. And even micro details on teeth suggest specialized processing capabilities. Crests and horns were likely used for display, possibly resonating sound. Neck flexibility also remains a point of significant scientific disagreement. Are stiff, lever-like support versus fluid, serpentine motion? These factors coalesce into the overarching question of their extinction. The prevailing catastrophic theory is well known, but nuances remain. The immediate effects were devastating, felt globally across biomes. Iridium layers confirm the extraterrestrial origin of the sudden crisis. And the resulting darkness caused a collapse of the primary food chain. Khan's survival favored the small, the adaptable, and the burrowing specialists. Khan's large resource demands made dinosaurs particularly susceptible to ecosystem failure. The survivors were those whose niche requirements were minimal. But each piece of evidence fuels new, often conflicting, interpretations. The true picture lies somewhere in the synthesis of these competing views. Why we continue to learn from the surviving lineage of these magnificent animals. The questions about speed and warmth are proxies for understanding life itself. Our future discoveries will refine these models with greater precision. Embrace the uncertainty. It is the engine of scientific progress. The reign of the dinosaurs remains the grandest, most beautifully unresolved chapter.